Hi everyone, Catherine here from Inky Finger Cat and back with my Christmas in October card. So for those that don't know what this is about, my Christmas in July, we've continued over in our Facebook group with a monthly prompt, and the prompt for this month is Rudolph. So I had a big old sort through the boxes of Christmas stamps, etc., and I figured that the only one that was clearly Rudolph, or I could clearly make Rudolph, were the Avery Elle stamps, and it turns out I had two already coloured, already cut out, and I thought, yeah, I'm going to use those. Not that I'm lazy or anything, but I've already got them done, why not? But I decided rather than using a pattern paper, I would make my own, and so I am using the stamps. I'm going to use them to create my background panel. And I have just gone through the sort of the scraps pouch and pulled out this cream cardstock and the black cardstock that I'll use to mount them. And I'm just basically doing a bit of stamping, filling in the gaps with the stamps, using, I think it was soft suede, the ink that I used on this, just so it's got a subtle but discernible pattern in the background of the reindeers, and then obviously the two coloured images are going to be my toppers for the main focal points of the cards. So I did use my stamp wheel for this. I am liking my stamp wheel more. Do I think it's worth the money? No, I still don't think it's worth the money, but I do really like using it, I must admit. Whilst I was also going through my things looking for stamps, I did pull out a whole pouch full of ready-made sentiments. So a whole load of pouches, sorry, of ready-made sentiments. And these are ones that I've either die cut from scraps or foiled and die cut in advance and just pop them to one side. So you will see in a minute that I'm going to go and grab those. First though, my panels, which are from memory 9 centimetres by 13.5 centimetres. No, they might have been 13 centimetres. That's the size of the panel that I went with. Now, as you can see here, I've got loads of ready die cut, ready stamped, ready foiled sentiments, and I just went and picked two out that would work with the colour scheme or the theme of the card. There's a lot of pink and purple in there, so I need to do some purpley cards at some point to start using those up. But yeah, I find it so much easier if you've got things already done that you're just going to grab. And that then dictates kind of how the cards are going to look. So I'd inked around the edges with the same colour ink just to give a little bit of sort of like rustic look. And then I decided on a matte of the black. And now I'm just going to pull that red out. Because his nose is red, I thought it was kind of lacking a bit of colour. It was looking a little bit too neutral themed. So I have chosen the die set that I bought a little while ago in a sale, where I just thought it was a really handy set of dies of these sort of like, let's say octagon. Yes, they're octagons, or octagonal shapes. They're not obviously octagons where they're all equal sides. They have got a rectangle element to them. And then I went through my scraps of speciality papers and pulled out these ones that are kind of like a coppery orange colour, which might seem a bit weird, but I just thought it would work, and most of it's covered. Now you can probably see there I do need to do something about my plates for my Spellbinders Platinum 6. I have already got the plates, I've just not swapped them out, and I'm now, when I get round to doing that, I will absolutely be keeping the top plate as not for cutting into and not keep alternating them, because what's happening now is I've got all those cut marks pressing into the plate when I die cut, which is fine because it kind of gives a vintagey look to the actual bit, and there's only a little bit of that foiled cardstock showing, but if I'd have wanted it to be pristine, it's not a great look. Right, I bought in the wax thread. Again, this is something that was sitting on my desk, and I've used it on a few projects recently, so I'm not sure if they've all appeared on my blog or on my YouTube yet, but I have used it quite a lot recently, so I probably need to put it back into the pot and choose a different colour, because I just seem to be using that all the time at the moment. I did the wrap of the thread going around, and then I added that bow, just working out if it was going to work or not. Used a glue dot from the Kingston Crafts adhesive pack, and then decided to stick my little sentiment on a little bit wonky. So it went up and went over the slightly smudged part of the little Rudolph image. It was just a little bit a little bit smudged. So it's covering that, but also covering the sort of like the knot of the bow. And then I've just added in those gold die cut pieces. So the gold is sort of a rosy gold. So it sort of works as a slightly different, but it doesn't contrast too much with that orangey coppery colour background that's on that mat. And these are pieces that I die cut from the scraps from that fabulous, I think it's called Autumn Garland or something along those lines. I bought it from Stampin' Up. I've got it here in my craft room and I love it. It's just so pretty. Lots of different coloured leaves, etc. Well, there was loads of waste, but I wasn't wasting it, but especially not the gorgeous sort of metallic one. So I die cut loads of little sprigs. Perfect for using on cards. Now, this is a bit where you go, hindsight's a wonderful thing. I should have stamped the Merry before I'd stuck everything in place. But I didn't. And then I fiddled around with this because I couldn't get it straight. And then I end up just pressing a little bit too hard. So it's not the best stamping in the end. It'll do. It's a handmade card. It's not Hallmark, as they say. I do not mind that I make tiny mistakes on these things. But you know, hindsight's a wonderful thing. Yeah, so if you are going to copy this in any way, shape or form, do the stamping before you stuck it all down so that it's not going to be wobbly and smudgy and all the rest of it. That's my advice. So the second one, I did the string going from top to bottom rather than left to right. And I used the die cut word Christmas as my sentiment. So I just needed that Merry adding in. Again, a couple of those gold sprigs, but I didn't add an extra bow of the ribbon this time, of the wax thread this time. So I'm just adhering them onto brown card blanks. I quite like this because it's a colour that I wouldn't use ordinarily, is to use brown a lot, but I have been using it quite a bit recently. I think there's a few, like, I think I've been in a sort of like, let's think earthy tones. I don't know why. However, because it's a coloured card base, I do want to add an insert, so I'm slightly lazy here, as in I just lay that second panel of white paper that's going to be my insert over the top of the other one. I stamp my little Rudolph image and then I stamp the sentiment Merry Christmas, but I do use a darker colour. I use the early espresso to do that. Fortunately, it stamped well for both of them the first time, so I didn't need to go in and double stamp because obviously having put it on top of it, it wasn't adhered in place. Would have been impossible to line it up perfectly. And that is my cards done. I hope you've enjoyed them. I'd much prefer them in the light than on the video light at my desk. They look so much cooler. Please do subscribe if you want to see more. I'll link the Facebook group in the description box below if you're interested in joining. Please come and see all the inspiration there and join in the challenge. Subscribe to see more videos. What else do I normally say? I think that's about it. Please leave me a comment below if you're enjoying Christmas crafting and if you're really on it now, because we are in the rundown to Christmas. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye bye.